Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Monday night. And this will be our final video for this season of Amazon Pilots. And I'll be your host, Marcus Shadow. Joining me, of course, James Phoenix and Chris, aka The Mole.
Hello.
Hello.
So this one is going to be a quick stream/video. It's just going to be our follow-up and final thoughts now that we know what's been picked up and what hasn't. So first thing I'm going to do is quickly run through the 5 shows and then tell which ones have been picked up, and then we'll just go from there and just kind of shoot the shit. So the first one we have is A Hand of God, starring Ron Perlman as a judge who thinks he's seeing visions from God and kind of becomes, well, the vigilante version of a crime boss. So, yeah, that's the first one. The second one is Hysteria, the second one we watched. And that was the social commentary on social media and how connected we are in this day and age, and based on an event that happened in real life, very loosely based on it. It's just kind of the impetus that starts the whole thing. The series basically discusses that and shows that we're way too dependent on social media, on like YouTube and stuff like that. And it's kind of a medical / horror / mystery drama, which was okay. Then we have the third one, Really, and that's kind of it's supposed to be a dramedy, drama and comedy about this group of friends, and that are like married or have girlfriends, and yeah, you follow their lives, and supposedly real world type situations and wackiness ensues. Then the fourth one we took a look at was Red Oaks, which is it's set in the 1980s. It's a 1980s period piece, and God, I feel old calling the 1980s a period piece, but it's true. And it follows this young man who just recently graduated high school and is about to go into college, and kind of the adventures he goes through during the summer between high school graduation and college, where he gets a job at the Red Oaks Country Club as an assistant tennis pro. He's got a girlfriend, meets other hot women, and it's basically a coming-of-age story. Kind of in the vein of that 70s show a little bit. And then the final pilot that we watched, was Cosmopolitans, which is basically following a group of American expats as they live in Paris. And that's also supposed to kind of be a dramedy, more in the vein of a show like, say, Seinfeld. But again, just following. What's that?
That was not supposed to be like anything like Seinfeld. There was supposed to be more drama. It's more in touch with like your Dawson's Creek than it is your Seinfeld.
Well, fair enough. I never saw Dawson's Creek, so I couldn't draw that comparison.
I just meant Seinfeld's a sitcom. This was a drama.
True.
Well, by definition in Amazon's own description, it said dramatic comedy, but okay.
Yes, they put the drama first.
Anyway, yes, those are the 5 shows. Hand of God was picked up to be a complete series, as well as Red Oaks. And then a few days after that, Amazon asked for more scripts of Cosmopolitans. And that's where we are today. So, have at it, boys. What do you think?
I'm going to say I'm glad Cosmopolitans was picked up. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably one of, if not the best one there. And I'm disappointed really wasn't, and I'm kind of disappointed the Hand of God was.
Mm-hmm. And actually, technically, Cosmopolitans hasn't been picked up yet. It more than likely will be, but it's not officially picked up yet.
Yeah, the way Amazon
for more scripts.
Yeah, the way Amazon phrased it is they'd ask for more scripts and for You know, like they're going to make a few more episodes, but they didn't explicitly say picked up. I mean, maybe it's the same thing. I don't know. I'm just going by the way they phrased it.
Yeah, they mentioned they want to have more script to develop more episodes and stuff. And as the people that make the show said on like Twitter and stuff, it's been picked up for a season.
Okay, I'm just telling you that Amazon didn't use the terminology. Same thing then. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see the potential in Hand of God, but yeah, unless they, actually finish the episode and fix the pacing issues and stuff of the show, yeah, I don't see it being very good. Like they gotta fix the problems that were with that pilot. Otherwise, yeah, Amazon probably made a mistake with that one.
Mm. No, I think it certainly has I think it does have a lot of potential. I can understand why they went with it because it was very popular. A lot of people liked the episode and the concept and how it was going to work. It's just, yeah, they did try to cram a lot of the pilots, assuming they spaced, like you said, they work on the pacing, maybe have a little less in each episode, space it out a little bit, make sure the stories make sense, and it's not the same thing over and over again. I think they can make it work.
Yep. I'm actually kind of disappointed they didn't ask for like retooling and maybe more scripts of Hysteria, because that show also had potential. As we said, it ran into the problem of great concept but kind of crappy execution. I mean, it wasn't the most terrible thing I've ever seen, but I'd love to see that actually developed into a proper show.
Yeah, like I said, I love the concept with Hysteria. It's just a case of they execute absolutely everything with it so sloppily that it's a cool concept. Someone else will pick up the same concept in the future. I know they will. Mm-hmm. That's how shows work, which means I'm waiting to see someone who can handle it better get the same type of concept.
Fair enough, and that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I hope somebody makes. I hope somebody makes a show with a similar concept, show or a movie franchise. I think it'd be kind of awesome.
I would too. I'll say out the pilots, there was 5 in total in there.
Yes.
I thought the best 2 were really in Cosmopolitans. I thought Red Oaks was enjoyable, and it was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. I just preferred the other 2, so I'll put that in the middle. And then the worst 2, I'd say, was Hysteria and Hand of God. That's at least the order I'd put them in.
Fair enough.
See, I think my favorite was probably Red Oaks, and I'm glad that got picked up.
I agree.
It did pretty much everything right that it needed to do. It made you want to see the next episode. It paced everything properly. The writing was good. The acting was great, and it has a pretty interesting concept. The whole 80s coming of age story. It's like, okay, it's not necessarily a new concept, but it told it well. It executed the concept well.
I agree. Red Oaks is one of those, like, I thought really, and the other one did it well as well, but with Red Oaks it was a case of it did everything right, but it didn't add anything, I felt, to the genre. We've seen those genres before. We've seen the type of story before, so it's like it didn't feel new. It didn't feel bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it didn't feel new. Whereas Cosmopolitans was basically, like I said, like the Metropolitans spread out as a series. Great concept. I want to see this dude make a series like that. That's great. Really was more of the like camera type stuff, like The Office and stuff, but it was more focused on the real lives. Dropped the pretense of a documentary, so you didn't have to worry about where the cameras were. But it did it really well. It was like a single camera comedy, and it did it well. It made the characters real, which adds something new to that type of construct. Because normally they either try and make them too wacky, or a lot of times they go for more caricatures than proper characters. So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was just thinking with Really and Cosmopolitans, they both suffered from the same problem, in my opinion. And in other words, the reason I dislike both of them is, now that I think about it, it's basically the same, although for 2 different reasons, if that makes sense. And that is, it committed one of the cardinal sins of, storytelling. And and creating a TV series or movie series. With both Reilly and Cosmopolitans, I didn't care. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about what was going to happen. I didn't really care about the story. Hell, in terms of Cosmopolitans, as we discussed in our previous video, in my opinion, there kind of was no story. And if I don't care about the characters and stuff, then it doesn't matter how well you do the rest of it. I'm just not going to care. I'm not going to like the series. Because, really, like you said, was shot well. The acting was good. Everything was done well. I just didn't care.
Yeah, but A, you've mentioned you're not a fan of those genres, and B, I wouldn't really call it a cardinal sin that they didn't make you care, because they made other people care enough for Cosmopolitan's got a new series.
True.
True, but Jim, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Are you in the middle? Do you agree with Mole?
I mostly agree with you. I think Cosmopolitans has some potential. I think it's different from the kind of show that most people on our side of the pond are used to, and that's kind of why we weren't totally, comfortable with it. We didn't totally understand it because we don't have that kind of show over here. It's it's a higher class of show than what normally makes it onto American TV, unfortunately. And as a result, I think I think the characters were interesting. I mean, necessarily know their names or that much about them, but just the way they portrayed themselves, it seemed like they were interesting, and it was kind of interesting to see where it was going. But as Marcus and I had seen it felt like there wasn't much. Like, I didn't understand why I was following these characters and what the plot was supposed to be, which I guess is just okay. They're in Paris and they're living their lives, which is fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
It felt, compared to most shows that I like, it didn't really there wasn't anything driving the characters except for, we're in Paris, we're going to go to a party and try to get laid. That was about it. So,
yeah, there was nothing in place in either of the two shows, Reilly or Cosmopolitans, in my opinion, that said to me, this is why I should care about the characters in the story.
Yeah, which, like I've said, to me, it was just a case of, and I know there are shows like them in America. The problem is they're not the shows most people here watch because they don't involve superpowers and stuff or some sort of sci-fi element, which is fair enough. It's just a case of, for me, those two felt more intelligent than the other ones, if that makes sense. Like, they were definitely more classy, or, you know what I mean? Like, they challenged you more on an intellectual level, where the other ones, the other two, the ones I didn't like least, Hand of God and Hysteria, felt really dumb with how they executed the stuff. Red Oaks did an okay job of seeming cool. It seemed like something everyone could enjoy, but I like these two just because it felt intellectual, which I'm all for more intellectual stuff. It's like when films come out, people always complain, there's only reboots and sequels. Yes, that's because you ignore the independent films and like the Brokeback Mountains and stuff because it doesn't involve aliens or explosions. It's like, no, they exist. You just have to look for them.
Yeah, fair enough. That's the whole reason Michael Bay is successful.
Yes, but I would also say that doesn't mean Michael Bay's good.
No, not at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. I'm just saying that's why Michael Bay is successful. And I'm all for intellectual stuff, too. And maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm less intellectual than British people over there on that side of the pond. But I still need a little direction. I need to know why I should care. If the series itself isn't giving me a reason to care, then it's failing, in my opinion. And that's probably why I didn't get picked up, because I would imagine, well, it's because this is, no, you're on Amazon.co.uk. But I would imagine a load of the votes that came in from the United States of America, and unfortunately, as we just got through discussing, if you don't tell Americans this is why you should care, they won't care.
To be fair, I'm again not saying it's across the pond issue. I know there are people in America that like stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your country is much larger, so you're going to have more idiots than we do, just based on a statistical number. But in terms of a percentage, it's probably about the same. It's just there'll be more because your country's bigger. That's the only reason. And I'm not saying that you and Jim aren't intellectual. It's just I don't know. To me personally, it's like a lot of shows you guys like, which doesn't mean you're not intellectual. You do enjoy other stuff that's intellectual. Just when it comes to shows, you guys seem to enjoy stuff that, as Jim's put it, with other shows where you need to turn your brain off for some of it. I don't like that. I don't want to turn my brain off to enjoy something, because I always feel if I turn my brain off to enjoy something, I'm just wasting my time here. You have to give something to challenge me mentally.
Right.
Although I
That's
do enjoy a load of shows where you don't need that too, so I can enjoy like some of the lowbrow stuff too. Example, we just got done watching Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Right. I actually would have liked to have seen really get developed a little bit more, because that show was it was a good start, that pilot, and I think it was. And you're probably going to not like me for this. I thought it was better than Cosmopolitans. Much better executed. But again,
why would I not like you for that? I mentioned I like both of them around the same.
Because I thought you liked the guy who did Cosmopolitans.
Yeah, I do like the guy who did Cosmopolitans. I also like some of the actors in or actresses, I should say.
See, I think that might have been the other thing too, is you were familiar with the actors and actresses in Really, and maybe some in Cosmopolitans, and you were familiar with the director of Cosmopolitan, so you were already kind of familiar going in to these kinds of shows, whereas Jim and I have never really experienced these kind of shows before, so we didn't know what to think, we didn't know how to react, and because of that, we weren't prepared for what it was asking us to do, I suppose.
To be fair with that, which I understand, but at the same time, it's one of those, every one of someone's work is the first thing they see. For example, Jim, did you watch Firefly or Buffy or Angel?
Nope.
Did you like Avengers?
Yes.
Joss Whedon?
Right. And this is true.
But that is something that's good with the Amazon thing, to be fair, with the 3 they picked up.
What's that?
Cosmopolitans is more of a realistic drama with bits of comedy in there. So it's more like a realistic dramedy, but it's more realistic in terms of story, pacing, and stuff like that. Red Oaks is more like your feel-good, family-friendly comedy, which is more closer to a sitcom than the other two, if that makes sense. Whereas Hand of God is more of your supernatural-ish, fantasy, sci-fi-ish, with the gritty blood and the guts and stuff. All 3 are very different, and that's what I love about the Amazon pilot season. It's not like if you go to see like the pilot season on NBC, chances are they're all going to be the same. Same thing with like CW and stuff. Amazon, no, they're all 5 were very different shows, and that's what's good.
That was good.
Indeed.
The only downside is sometimes your favourites get picked up, sometimes they don't. But that's the same with any pilot. It's like the first time they did the Amazon pilot season, I liked Zombieland. It was based on the movie and stuff, but
nice.
a load of people complained because it didn't have the actors and it was different to the movie, and it didn't get picked up. But it was a shame. Although, to be fair, something good may have come from that, as we're getting Zombieland 2, the movie.
Nice.
So,
It's a TV series. They expected it to be the same actors and like the movie. Really? Have they never seen television adaptations of movie franchises?
Yeah, but they didn't like the direction the new actors took them, which I can understand.
Fair enough.
At the same time, I was like, I liked it. They were pretty much the same. It was just, instead of like one of them being Woody from Cheers, it was the new guy playing him. He added his own little spin on the character, which has to happen. Like, if you watch The Incredible Hulk and then watch Avengers, the 2 actors playing Hulk have very different spins because they each bring something different to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like the fans of Batman saying Gotham is complete shit because Gary Oldman isn't playing Jim Gordon. It's like, that's 2 different universes, assholes.
Which means you'd really love Smallville. Different universe.
Hey, different universe doesn't automatically make it good.
It doesn't. High RPM.
Yeah.
But no, I was going to say, there is one thing I noticed with this season, though, since we're talking about the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Where was the kids show? The other ones
True.
had some sort of kids shows. Like one of them had 2 or 3 kids shows, and then and had a lot more other shows too. But where were the kids shows? Because I like the fact they're getting exclusive content for kids. It means the kids don't have to watch Nickelodeon or Disney or something. They can watch Amazon with you.
Yeah, true. All the shows that they showed this pilot season, they were all adult shows. Every single one of them.
They were, which was a little weird, but it's like the first pilot season, like I've mentioned on one of the other ones, and I said I'd go into it more a little bit here, but they did Wizard of Oz for kids. Dorothy was a little girl, she had a little puppy, and instead of a scarecrow, it was like the scare girl, it was like a little scarecrow girl, it was like a little lion and stuff like that, they were all kids. And it was basically sort of like the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or the Dora the Explorer type shows where she'd go to Oz she'd go back to Oz every day to essentially find out more about herself and to learn a lesson that would help her in real life solve a problem, which the kids would help her do, like the Dora type missions. I didn't find it offensive. I didn't find it bad. I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. I could totally see my niece and nephew sitting down and watching this. Cool. Didn't get picked up, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Ironically speaking, now that you brought up the kid thing, now that I think about it, the most kid-friendly of the 5 pilots, and I use kid-friendly very loosely, is Hysteria. Hysteria. Because there wasn't like really any blood or gore or anything like that. There might have been some swearing, but aside from that, there was nothing really too offensive in there. Hand of God, you have fucking Ron Perlman stabbing his son's foot like fucking 10 times and making it bleed.
I was joking with Hand of God. If we made out it was like a HBO show, I was joking that would be kid friendly. I wouldn't say Hysteria was kid friendly even. I know you said loosely, but I wouldn't call that kid friendly at all. Because okay, you could remove the swearing and stuff, but wasn't anything really that bad? Is there anything really that bad in a typical episode of, say, NCIS or Revolution or Lost or any of those big name shows like that? There's not really too much violence or too much bad stuff in that, but they're not kid shows by any stretch of imagination. The closest to a kid show, ironically, in my opinion, would probably be Cosmopolitans, only because that had more range to get the teen audience as well as the adults, if the teens can concentrate on it for more than 2 minutes instead of looking at their iPhones.
But see, I was gonna say that, except I think they did have language in that, and I don't even know what the hell nationality the dude's supposed to be. I'm just gonna call him the Italian because I always thought he was Italian in the movie or in the episode.
Series. Yeah.
The series, yeah. The Italian bringing drug dealers to the party.
Yep.
Which is like, wait, really?
Yeah, and Hysteria was to do with people dying of diseases.
Yeah, but I think that's more PG than, hey kids, here's a drug dealer selling coke at a party.
To be fair, based on kids, they always get high on coke. Or Pepsi, depending on their preference. Drum roll, please. Thank you. But no, what did Jim think about the variety?
I thought it was. I agree. I thought it was a very good variety of different types of shows. And when I first started looking at them, I realized that there's going to be a lot of different shows, and that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing about this kind of new online content, whether it be Amazon, Netflix, whatever, is that there is that variety of programming to choose from, and that you don't have, and that the audience can have a say in what kind of shows they would like to see. And I think it's good that it's not just, a lot of, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of the networks, NBC, ABC, so forth, they tend to launch a lot of similar shows on their network. There's a lot of the same stuff. There's different characters, different plots, but a lot of it's same tone, same type of things going on. Whereas with this sort of thing, there was a very wide, variety and difference in the types of shows that were available, which...
What did you think about what we touched upon with the age thing of they all seem to be adult shows?
I agree. I think they were all, in one way or another, certainly shows geared toward the adult. I agree that with the exception of the drug dealers, Cosmopolitans probably had the least amount of stuff that would be offensive, but at the same time, I don't know if that would be able to hold a child's attention either. Teens maybe, like you mentioned, yes, but...
Yeah, I mentioned they had possibly the teen element because of the drama of the teens in America, or young adults. I could see them possibly following it, like the OC and Dawson's Creek, even though it's more intelligent than those.
See
Although
that.
season 1 to 2, well, season 1 to 3 of Dawson's Creek is fucking great TV.
See, and that's why I thought Hysteria would be more the, teen kid audience.
Yeah.
Because of its concept, I feel the teens would be most likely to follow that series more than any of the other ones we saw. Because it's like, oh, this is talking about the interwebs and YouTubes and videos and stuff. Hey, this is kind of interesting.
Did they use that exact technical terminology?
I don't recall.
I will say, which is slightly off topic, there is something that amused me with Netflix over here.
What's that?
Netflix are doing original content too, as you know, but they don't pilot
Right.
theirs. They just do it. One of their weird things they've done is they've got some exclusive stand-ups, like, what's the hell name? Chelsea Handler. She did one which was kind of funny. But the weirdest one, they've got fucking, what's his name? The host of the Cosby Show, Bill Cosby. I couldn't remember his first name. Bill Cosby. They got Bill Cosby to do stand-up as an old man. And it's something like
Wow.
Still Got Years Left or something is what he's called it. And I'm like, that's kind of wonderful. I haven't seen it, but I was like, that's kind of wonderful. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It just reminded me because I totally could imagine the way Marcus described it with the, and you've got your interwebs and your YouTubes. I could totally imagine that.
Yeah, Bill would definitely say things like that.
Not many people
yeah.
know Marcus Shadow is actually played by Bill Cosby.
No, I'm not. But yeah, now that I'm thinking about the age thing too, as you mentioned, I think without really realizing it, because like Jim and I never really realized, hey, there's no kid stuff on here. I think, at least for me, I felt it, and I kind of knew it was there without knowing it was there, if that makes sense. And I just realized that with everything being adult, I think that made me a little uncomfortable watching some of the stuff because it was so adult and so mature, quote unquote. And and as anyone who knows me, you guys know I don't shy away from that kind of stuff. I love, I love seeing a naked woman. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a dude. But and then I love the violent stuff. Watch movies with lots of violence in it. I'm cool with that. But for some reason, the stuff I was watching in Amazon, and maybe it was because because these are pilots to like series to shows, I was linking that to TV in my mind, TV show. And because of that, a lot of what I was seeing kind of made me uncomfortable, and there was no balance to that. There was nothing like a Wreck-It Ralph or something, no kid-friendly show, or nothing like a Boy Meets World or something to just kind of give you that breath of fresh air. And I think
That's what I thought.
a pilot season needs that breath of fresh air.
That's what I thought Red Oaks was going to be. I thought it was going to be a Boy Meets World in the 80s. It turned out not to be, but hey, what we got was still good. However, that's what I was on about. I don't know if Jim saw any of the ones from the first pilot season, but
I have not.
in my opinion, they had more variety as they had Zombieland, yet they had that Wizard of Oz thing.
Right.
Yet they also had this show about these two alien people. Well, not two alien people. They were like people on board a Death Star spaceship.
Okay.
And it was done like a Beavis, what if Beavis and Butthead were on the Death Star? So it was like a teen robot chicken comedy of a space cartoon. So it was like Futurama with more adultish humor. I mean, I'm not saying Futurama's for kids, but Futurama, in my opinion, is very family friendly, which is one of its great things. But this was like that, but more towards the South Park-ish group. So I was thinking that would be perfect for teens, and they did that with a few of their shows. Then the last pilots with Mozart in the Jungle, Alpha House and stuff, they did include one kids one. I think it was what's her name, Anbot or Android or whatever it was called, which was all about this girl making robot stuff. Cool. They had a teen drama or kids drama. Cool, but from the second one and this one, they haven't had as much variety, which is a little disappointing to me in terms of age range.
Yeah. Yeah, see, because I thought that Really and Red Oaks were going to be the two more kind of family, dramedy type stuff. I thought Really was going to be more well, I don't know how it is over on your side of the pond, but I thought it was going to be more like The Office style kind of thing, where
Yeah.
anybody could watch it. And then really opens up with the guy trying to bang his wife. It's like, okay, not a family dramedy.
To be fair, The Office, in terms of our office, God, I didn't like yours. Ours also included him doing racist jokes and stuff. But it wasn't him doing racist jokes because the joke was, ha ha ha, look at the black person. The joke was, he told this racist joke to all of the white colleagues. And then the black colleague walks by, and he's so embarrassed and ashamed of what he just told him. And then the black guy keeps pushing, and then he tells him the joke, and everyone just stares in disbelief. And it was, the humour for that didn't come from, ha, look at the black guy. The humour from that came from, you idiot! Don't do that! Oh my god, that's so awkward! Which made it funny. But yeah, there was definitely stuff like that in the UK office, whereas your office was more sitcom-y, which I didn't like. It was more brighter and hopeful.
But it makes sense because it was designed for an American audience. Yeah, I know. I don't like that either, but it's true. Sad but true.
That's not. I will point out for people here who might think I was being racist with that. That's not because it was made for the American audience. That's because they did it wrong. Like the first season was pretty much the same as one of our seasons, different tone and slightly stupid. Like they tried to do that '70s show over here.
Okay.
Yeah, not many people remember this on ITV. They did like a '70s show, and it was the UK adaptation of the '70s show. And yeah, it was the exact same storylines as your season 1 of the '70s show in England in the '70s, where we didn't have the American stuff. It made people go. Dad, you've done this wrong. Fuck you, UK adaptation. I'm gonna watch the '70s show because I watched the American ones doing the American stuff in the '70s. Funny, British people doing American stuff in the '70s. Weird.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like Saban trying to take Shinkenger and using the exact same stuff for samurai. It's like, America never had samurai. What the fuck are you doing? This makes no sense.
True.
Which is one of the big reasons I didn't like samurai, to be honest, was because I was just like, no, you're doing it wrong.
True, although to be fair, the
Japanese
Sentai
stuff
also.
in America.
To be fair though, the Sentai stuff's also done like cars and stuff, and Asians can't drive.
How?
Oh, Asians can drive. We just can't drive well. Get it right.
Yeah, so you can put them in a Zord that's based on a car. Boom!
Hey,
Extended news night.
Hey, as Zordon established, you don't have to have a license to drive a Zord.
Yeah, but no. Like I said, with some stuff like that, it's weird. Like apparently over here we're getting an adaptation of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh God.
I don't like this guy who's in the lead for it.
Who's
So
in the lead for it?
that means he's a comedian from over here called Lee Mack.
Ah.
I don't like him as I don't know. He just seems like an idiot. But it could work. I'm not going to say it won't. It could work, and they could adapt it in a way that works with the audience and stuff. But I'm sorry, I'm going to prefer Everybody Loves Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm sorry, Robert was awesome.
He was. He was.
I loved Robert. But no, yeah, the Amazon pilot season. Like I said, overall, I personally, like I said, I gave my ratings for which ones I thought they were. But overall, for the whole thing, I'd say it was pretty good pilot season. And I mean, worst comes to worst, even if every single show they produced was complete crap, no one can complain. Because think about it, you're watching these for free, the pilots, and you're getting your voice heard. They didn't force a gun to your head and say, watch this, although I totally did that with Marcus, but they didn't say, put a gun to your head and say, watch this or I'll shoot you. They just said, hey, go, watch these if you want to, and comment. And people did. Mm-hmm. It's like when people complain that, wait, what? I just got a game given to me for free on PlayStation Plus. And it's like, cool. Yeah, but it's a game I didn't like. Boo, that makes PlayStation Plus suck. No! You got it for free. Admittedly, with that one, it's not really free, it's just subscribing, but you're not just subscribing just for that one game, come on.
Right.
Within a couple of months, you'll make your money back. Within a year, you've made your money back.
Right, I mean, unless you're Jim, who subscribed just to get PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
No, he subscribed early to get PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, but he wanted it for next month so he can play online with us on 2K15.
It was a joke.
Pretty much.
It was a joke because I'm aware of that.
I know, but our audience wasn't. So I had to point that out to the audience in case people thought Jim was that stupid. I mean, if they've heard any other podcasts with Jim, it's not that big a stretch.
Ah.
See, I got your back, Jim.
No.
Oh.
Jim's not pew pew.
Ah.
Vita. He's totally pew pew. Oh, he is. There you go. So you didn't hear anything.
Fair enough. But yeah, I agree with you. This was actually a pretty good pilot season. I'm glad you turned us on to the pilot seasons.
Yeah, I agree.
Are either one of you?
Like,
I know Marcus does, but are you, Jim, do you have any likelihood of picking up Prime?
Probably not.
Fair enough.
Prime is kind of expensive.
It's kind of expensive, but the way I look at it, it's like this. Like over here, which I think is about the same price as there, it's like maybe £80 for the entire year. Maybe about £80-90 for the entire
it's $90
year.
for the year.
Yeah, but split that up. That's about what, £8 for me. Also, it's about what, £8 a month. That's about Netflix price, and as well as getting all these content free. Well, not free, but a load of content for you to watch on Amazon. You can also buy instant stuff, keep in your catalog, and you get next day delivery for free on a load of parcels and stuff. Brilliant. Yeah. And you guys also have other offers that we don't get.
Yeah,
like, I think you have I think you have more benefits than us, but there are main benefits.
Mm-hmm. In all honesty, the only reason I have Prime is because I fucked up. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
Yeah, he thought it was just a thing just for Optimus Prime.
Yep.
No. The Amazon gave me the 1 month offer, which I had taken like before a while back, and they wanted to get me back. So I was like, all right, I need to buy something on Amazon. Don't really want to pay shipping. Fuck it, I'll activate the free month. Yeah, I forgot to turn that shit off.
They pull him back in.
Exactly.
Boom, Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, to be fair, yeah, you may have fucked up, but to be fair, it benefits you, because, like, let's say, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, you were to go into Amazon right now and buy Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate Edition on PS4, you can have it shipped to your house for next day delivery for free.
I don't know about over there. Over here, I think it's 2-day delivery. I don't think it's next day delivery.
Yeah, it might be 2-day delivery, but it's still fast.
It's still fast. It's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense over there for it to be 2 days, because we're the size of Texas. We're just one state size, which means, yeah, it's 1 day's easier to do here than it is over there.
True.
Probably takes more than a day to go from the top of your country to the bottom.
Yeah. Depending on which part of the country you're in, I know at one. Yeah. I know at one point my parents and I drove from New York to Florida, and it took us about 2 days to do it. Granted, that's with stopping to get a hotel room for the night, sleep, eat, whatever else. But yeah, if you were to drive nonstop straight through, at least from New York to Florida, it's like a little over a day. So if you were going to go from further up, like in Michigan or Maine or whatever, it would take a lot longer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you went from, I don't know, Chicago to Florida or something like that, it's going to take you a day or two, which means, and postmen need their breaks too. You can't expect them to just drive there with, oh my god, Marcus Shadow ordered Amazon Prime because he fucked up. I must take him his copy of Power Rangers Samurai on DVD. No, I don't need sleep. Marcus needs his DVD. God damn it, Showtime or Shadows More needs its content. He's driving determined. Pops another Monster Energy drink and just keeps driving.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good season. Like we said, I would have preferred if they'd had more age variety to it. I like I said, I think it sorely needed that breath of fresh air of the kid stuff. Even if the kid stuff is stupid, as a lot of kid stuff is, it still would have been nice to have it.
I would make the case that it's only stupid to us.
True.
Because I'll be honest, like I mentioned in the past, like as a kid, I'll admit I liked, like I mentioned it on our worst stuff, I liked the 80s Turtles. Don't like it as an adult. As a kid, Jason the Wheel Warriors, loved it. Hate it as an adult. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, if you go back and watch it as an adult, it's not that good. But as a kid, these can be the greatest things ever, which, hey, I'm all for that. I think and the other benefit for anyone with kids listening, or anyone who looks after kids or anything like that, is basically, I don't know about over there, but at least over here, and it's been the same since I was a kid, if a kid watches an episode of Power Rangers, their first instinct is, I want to see another episode of Power Rangers. Which, yeah, the Amazon stuff would give them a whole season to just watch it on the run and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully the next Amazon pilot season will have at least one kid's show on it.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hell, Amazon over here have signed a deal with Warner Brothers. Why don't Amazon try to make a DC series as a pilot to try and compete with Daredevil on Netflix?
That could be cool.
That'd be awesome. What DC property would you recommend? Oh, Comic Guru.
Can you say Teen Titans?
Hell yes! Except
And
that
the
they're
other-
already making a Teen Titans show.
They are making a Teen Titans show, but whether or not that actually gets fully made, I don't know. But I'm saying a Teen Titans show off the top of my head just because that totally fucking works. Because,
Yeah.
okay, you may have to change some stuff that some people may not like, which is fair enough, because if they're teens, you can get them in school and get like the Smallville-like environment going, and then have them living their dual life, so it's sort of like a Power Ranger-ish show, where like Dick Grayson's in school, and oh my god, it's been attacked, puts on his Robin costume or his Nightwing, depending on which version you want to go with. Boom! That just writes itself as a cool, like, Saban-ish show.
Right. Well, if it's going to be teen, it's probably going to be in high school, then I would probably say Robin, because he doesn't become Nightwing until he goes to college, right?
He doesn't, but to be fair, they've mixed that up before now, where they've mixed up, okay, he basically became, like, I think on New 52, it's implied he became Nightwing a lot faster.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, Teen Titans would be awesome.
I don't know, which DC show would you guys like to see him make, for kids or for teens?
Hmm. Well, going with the team thing, as a TV show, I think it would work, and probably far better than movie. Why not make a live-action Justice League?
That could probably work too. I was ironically thinking in my head, I know, what's his name, Del Toro, whatever he's called, wanted to do Dark Justice, which was like a Dark Justice League, which was made up of people like Zatanna and all those types of people. I'd totally include that on Amazon as like a CW-ish show, where it's got like you got like your Vampire Diaries and Arrow and stuff like that on CW. Something like that totally works, where you've got these more mystical and like supernatural people, but do it in like a more younger, like de-age the characters, make them younger for the adaptation. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with younger people for the adaptation, as long as it's not a case of, this guy's famous for being a 52-year-old, you're now making him 10.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like he's 20 and you made him like 15, or he's 30 and you made him like 12 or like 17, I'm okay with it.
You know what character I'd actually love to see a TV series made of, because I think it'd be awesome? You could kind of do it in the vein of The Incredible Hulk. I want to see an Etrigan TV series. I think that'd be amazing.
That could work too.
Where he's trying to deal with the fact that he's cursed forever to be a demon. And so, like, you know, when certain things happen or that the incantation is chanted, he becomes Etrigan, or, you know, and he learns that, you know, he needs to become Etrigan to do good, kind of thing.
He does. And I heard Jim typing. Is Jim looking up a DC show?
I'm not.
Ah.
Sorry.
Fair enough. I thought you were going to be saying like a DC show you wanted to say. Fair enough. But no, I was just using that as an example. But there's many places these pilot seasons can go. I think we should probably wrap this up with you guys doing your final thoughts, as I've done mine.
Fair enough. Did Jim want to weigh in on the DC thing before we take off? Because he's been kind of quiet.
I think it certainly work and be a good idea to try to compete with the Netflix thing. I think it'd be a great idea, and there's a lot of great DC properties that you could work for something like that. The Justice League Dark and Teen Titans are all the great ideas. I said if you're going to go with more of a CW style, like almost like Vampire Diaries type show where there's a lot of dark magic and things like that going on, you could easily use like a young Dr. Fate or something like that. That could be
That's a
kind of
great
cool.
idea.
Something like that, just because he pops into my head, things like that. It could be kind of fun. So I think, that would be a good idea. They could certainly work with something like that to try to, get in on the superhero market.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If they want.
Or hell, we can make. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I know they're making this as a film, but hey, there's standalone stuff that also works.
Mhm.
I'd love to. How about Suicide Squad?
That could
Yeah,
work.
that might not work for teens as much, but still, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If you want to go for the kind of John Cena market, if you will, why not Shazam the series?
To be fair, the John Cena market isn't kids anymore. It's not 2007.
Well, teens, but yeah,
I mean, his audience is now adults, kids, everyone.
I suppose. Well, but Shazam would have
Mhm.
things for everyone because your main protagonist is both a kid and an adult. So
It
you
is,
you
but you
have
said
the
it's
whole
a
kid
bad
being a
thing.
superhero thing, you know.
It is, but you said it as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily, because lots of women like John Cena, and you have Shazam, who's an overly muscular Superman type who women will fawn over. Gee, does that sound like anyone we know?
Me? But no, like I said, something like that could work. But yeah.
All right.
So what did you guys think about this season?
I think it was a good season overall, and yeah, I'll bet there might not have been any kids or teens shows. There was a nice variety of different shows for different speeds of adults who have different taste in TV. Some people like a more dramatic, action-driven show. Some people like to sit back and relax and watch a comedy. Some people like something that's going to provoke them and make them really think about what they're watching. Everybody has different preferences for what they want to see, and so. I think it was a very great season for that, for adults to look at and say, okay, this is what we have, and hopefully, given that they did an all-adult show season this time, maybe the next season they'll have more than one kids show to try to make up for that.
The other thing too that I was kind of hoping would break it up a little bit, again because of shows like say Really and Cosmopolitans, they need an actual comedy in there. That's the other thing. There was no laughter to break it up. It was just drama after drama after drama, and it's like, wow, this is kind of depressing. I kind of want to laugh now.
To be fair, really was a comedy. You just didn't like the awkward type of humor.
Well, that and like I said, the whole rated M type stuff. Like I said, that stuff started making me a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know why. Don't know why it did, but it did. As I was watching it, I was like, this is making me kind of uncomfortable. Like this, and then the thing is, I recognize that this is what's supposed to be funny. This is the humor they're going for, but I'm like, it's not funny to me.
Fair enough. Yeah, they needed a Friends, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Friends or a Seinfeld or something. Yeah.
Which I will say, did love Friends.
Friends was awesome. How you doing?
I will admit I didn't like Seinfeld, but I did like Friends. But I think that one could arguably be a cultural thing. As they mentioned a while back that Seinfeld ruled America, Friends ruled the world.
True. So fair enough. So I look forward to seeing what Amazon gives us for the next pilot season, and hopefully there'll be a little more variety in terms of show genre. And hopefully they'll continue with the variety that they're showing in terms of show concepts, because, yeah, there was a great variety in show concepts, and I like that about this season.
Yeah. I also wish with Netflix and Amazon getting exclusive content, I kind of wish they'd pick up some fan favourites that other channels may have dropped, see if they can get them back as a season, like paid rights or something. Like, for example, off the top of my head, since we were talking about Warner Brothers stuff before, why didn't they get Thundercats 2011 or Young Justice? Both shows which got cancelled just because they didn't sell enough toys or they had too strong a female character. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. Or, since it's seeing kind of a resurgence, why don't they approach Saban and get the rights to Next Mutation and bring Next Mutation back on Amazon?
That could kind of work, because the second season that did look kind of cool. But yeah, it's like, that's another DC show I wouldn't mind seeing.
What's that?
Wonder Girl.
Hmm.
Because it would basically be almost a Wonder Woman for teens. Almost.
It would, but she
kind of
joins the
work.
Teen Titans, though, doesn't she? So at some point she'd have to join the Teen Titans.
Yeah, they could always go the Netflix approach of have it all build, like Nightwing the series, stuff like that, like Raven the series, and stuff, and have them all build
That'd
up
be
to one giant one.
That'd be fucking awesome. All of them get their own series. In fact, if I was gonna do that, I would steal, honestly, kind of the idea or the name from another series pitch that some family's doing. I would call it Grayson the series. Have him start as Robin, and then become Nightwing, and then it goes into Teen Titans.
Yeah, that could be kind of cool as well. Well, hell, I just want to see a TV show called Changeling.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Just fuck calling him Beast Boy.
Unless he's voiced by Greg Sipes, in which case he has to be Beast Boy.
Well, I would probably say again, kind of like the Dick Grayson one. I would think he'd probably start as Beast Boy and then evolve into Changeling, and then that's when he joins the Titans. So when you join the Titans, you have Changeling, you have Nightwing. I think that'd be awesome.
Possibly. Like Cyborg, the series would be awesome and stuff. But yeah, like I said, I think that could work.
Cyborg series would be awesome, especially because he's technically out of the league and out of the Titans and in the league now.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. They're
gonna too big.
Yeah, but they've already have plans to at least have a cameo in the Batman Superman Dawn of Justice movie. They could just as easily, spin that off into a TV series if they didn't want to have Cyborg have a have to make a Cyborg movie. If they didn't think it would carry enough weight, they could easily do like an Amazon Cyborg TV series to set that character up more.
To be fair, Nightwing's meant to be in that.
Fair enough. That's right. I remember that hearing that.
Yeah, I was more excited for Nightwing, but yeah.
Fair enough.
But so we all seem to like it. Did you want to take it out, Marcus?
Please do.
Indeed. Well, this ends our look at the Amazon pilot season for fall 2014. We hope you'll join us again in winter 2015, i.e. beginning of next year, for the next Amazon pilot season, where we hope to be doing this again. And our plan at the moment is to make this a regular occurring thing, to go through all the pilots during every pilot season. Unlike this series of videos that we did, all the ones from here on out should be within the time frame and should be viewed, reviewed, and completed before the end of the pilot season. We got started a little late this season, so we do apologize for that. It was kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing of Mole saying, hey, they have this, you guys want to review this? And we were like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So, but yeah, we'll be kind of planning it out better and reviewing appropriately, time appropriate. So do look for that. We would love to hear from you guys, our viewers out there, about your opinions of the Amazon pilot season and your opinions of our opinions. I will just point out, I didn't just randomly come up to you guys and say, hey, do you want to review this while it started? I'm not that much of an idiot. I had said it beforehand. It's just everyone forgot when it started. There's that too, yeah. But I'm just saying it's not like it was something that we had planned beforehand. It was just kind of a spur of the moment. Oh yeah, there's an Amazon pilot season. Do you guys want to review that?
Yep.
But yeah, so if any of you want to contact us, leave your opinions or anything, go ahead and post below in the comments or on our website, and we will certainly get back to you. And we do look forward to hearing from you. So thanks for joining us, everyone, for this look at the Amazon pilot season fall 2014. Thank you, Jim and Mole, for joining me for this final video.
Fair enough, no problem. Thank you for having us.
Indeed. And until next time, have a good viewing, everybody.